All right, here we are. Let's see. Okay, no fight weekend, but we'll talk for a little while because I know got stuff going on this weekend anyway. So I didn't plan for the weekend. Oh yeah, Tank and Rolly fight this weekend, but I don't know. That thing is pay per view. I don't know if I'm messing with that for pay per view. All right, let's see. Brian Williams was up. Chin Marcus. All right. Okay. Well, that's what I'm gonna talk about. I want to talk about that because I just got off IG Live, and Chikagan just said that she won't be able to fight September 3rd. So she said she don't know how that got out there, but yeah, it's looking like it might not be in September, y'all, unless the UFC really pushes it, makes her open that date up. But as of right now, Chikagan said she don't know how that date got out there. So I just want to put that out there before we get into you know the meat of it. That's how I do over here. Like I said, like I don't do any clickbait news. Like I always say, it's in the works. It's in the works. And I like to go check with the fighters myself. So she said from her mouth on IG Live that I don't know where that date came from. She said I won't be able to do September 3rd. Right? Yeah, Chen said she ain't trying to go to Paris. Hey, I mean, like she ought to. It's not get you a nice trip to France. You might take a L, but hey, you might take a L, but it's all good. I mean, you got a possibility to win. Cause she talked about the fight. She said, "I'll still fight her." She was like, "I know." She's like, "I kind of know what to expect." But hey, but it's all good. I mean, as long as we get it and we both know they want it. I mean, Paris would be nice though. UFC Paris would be nice for that one. That would be a nice one. Um, Mark said be paying for. Yeah, yeah. Nope. Chin in the building. Let's see, Mark Robinson. What's going on? He said sucks. I would think that Manon does want to fight in Paris. Yeah, she does. She's been posting about as far as she's the one. She's one of the ones that haven't been pushing it like that. Like, of course, media is their job to keep us posted on what's being worked on, but she hasn't announced it either. So yeah, it's not her side either. Manon didn't announce anything, but it's just been out there. So I've been riding with it too because that's a fight I like. But other than that, no, like nothing is 100%. Because I did a video like last week or 2 weeks ago, said it was in the works, but yeah, I didn't say it's finalized. So yeah, that's the news on that. Tank and Rolly is almost like Daffy Duck and Darkwing Duck. Dang, I love Darkwing. Well, I love Daffy too. So don't insult Daffy and Darkwing like that. Oh man, like the build up to the fight has been funny though. I can't really take Rolly seriously though. I can't really take him seriously. I don't know what it is about him. Like the way he talks, the way he punches. I just don't know with him. And I mean, him being backed by Mayweather Promotions. I mean, people think that's solid, but I mean, you can look at his resume and his last fight. Nothing in that fight or nothing in his resume makes me really take him seriously like that. Tank, on the other hand, yeah, Tank is a good fighter. That's why I want to see Tank in there with better fighters. But yeah, yeah, let's get into this, man. We in here. Let's talk a little bit about it. Like, if it doesn't happen, So yeah, Chookagian Manon, the fight is still one they want to make, but it doesn't look like it's gonna happen in September, like I said, because she doesn't. Chookagian said she doesn't think she'll be able to do September 3rd, and she put it out there. She said the date is something that she can't do. She said, I don't know how it got out there. I don't know who put it out there, but hopefully, she said it gets made still. It's a fight she wants. Um, if it can't happen between the two, do y'all want to see Manon wait, or would you like to see her fight in Paris against somebody else? And if so, who else? That's the question. Who else could she fight? Who else would be a name, or should it be a situation where she waits at this point? Because Tate Murphy, they're booked for July. Arujo, Grasso's book going to be booked for what, August? So, what do y'all think? I think at this point, from Manon, there's no reason to fight down either. Uh, there's no need to fight anybody else. Like below number 5 now. James Perez, what's up? He said if Rolly KO's Tank, it would be the craziest. That's about all the chance he has. Mark said, yeah, I just looked up Manon's beginnings, and she was born in France. It sucks that she might not be able to fight the first time that the UFC goes to Paris. Yeah. Well, James Perez said, who screwed it up? Well, I wouldn't say it was screwed up because it was never in Chookagian's plan to fight in September. I will, come to her defense in that manner. That's why I'm just letting y'all know that she never said September. She said she don't know where that date came from because she already said she won't be able to do that. Right. So I think it was, again, the fans and so on just assuming it was going to be that day. Of course, Manon, she's open to fight on that day. And, that's the opponent we want to see, but it's not her screwing it up. It was just, I guess people taking it and run with it. Since I'd rather see someone else, I want Manon to be able to fight in Paris. Yeah, I'd be cool with that. But who on that ranking could she fight? Would it just be like a throwaway fight? And you don't want to risk it because everybody's booked. That's the thing about flyweight. Everybody's booked. Everybody gets booked quick. Murphy, Tate, let's see, Santos, Grasso, Arujo, already beat Jennifer Maya. Lee just got beat. JoJo's number 10, so really no need to fight JoJo. Jessica I is already taken. And that would have been a nice fight, to revisit, but no. Yeah, logically, I would say Andrade. Yeah, logically, I would say Andrade since she still is ranked. And that would be okay for her because, like, huge weight cut, right? That's actually going to be something she could do. But I don't know if she would. Imagine that, though. That would be big. Like, that'd be just as big, even bigger. Marcus said maybe Lauren pulls out for undisclosed reason, but no ends up fighting Misha Tate. Yeah, not bad, not bad. Stray, what's up? Andrade. Yeah, Andrade would take the fight. Yeah, so I think out of everybody on the list, since Andrade still is ranked, I'd say Andrade. Because I wouldn't say it's going to be like a high risk thing. I always say either Chookagian or Andrade is somebody that you need to fight to prove that you're ready for the title shot. Either one of those, like Chookagian or Andrade. If you pass Andrade, then you shouldn't have to fight Chookagian. I've been saying that on this channel many a time that it's either one of them. Fight either one of them. If you get by them, then that's just to secure your you being legitimate and moving forward. Brian Williams said, didn't Chookagian talk about fighting Manon, possibly another by the end of the year? Why not September? Who fired? What fires does she have to do better or more important in her career? Mm, I don't know. She has talked about it, but she said she never threw September out there. So I don't know. She said this level, I'd wait. If it's Andrade, I wouldn't. I would take, like I said, it's either one of them. They're the gatekeepers. If you get by one of them two, then you're good to go. Yeah, she might be. She might be staying there, but like if she answered, I'd rather see Manon in Andrade before Verna Genderoba and Andrade. Let me put it that way. Anything that makes sense. Yeah, like I would love to see Manon and Andrade before we see Verna in there with Andrade. Like I just think everything for Andrade should be big fights unless she goes on like a huge losing streak or something like that. Straight said perhaps it's smoke and mirrors. I'm gonna wait and see if it's announced officially because an announcement on Junkie today that she's responding to the announcement off of Junkie. She's responding to that. She's saying, I don't know how it got out there that she was fighting that day, but she can't. So, that's her. That was just maybe like 30, 40 minutes ago. All right, got about 18 of y'all in here. Make sure y'all hit the like. Always making notifications go up, stuff like that. Okay. Shoot. Let's see. Okay, yeah. I like the Andrade Manon fight, but I think it would only happen if Andrade takes it for no reason. Highly doubt she wants to challenge uh for the title anytime soon. Yeah, flyweight. Yeah. TJ said the problem is that you've been training for one high level fighter and you're going against an entirely different high level fighter. Not smart. I wouldn't choose Andrade after preparing for Kagan. Well, you still got another 4 months. And who's to say like she's just been training for that fighter, you know? So this is perfect timing. No, this is a perfect gap. That's one thing if it's a 2 week notice, TJ, or a month notice, but you got 4 months. Or, about three good months. And if you're a good fighter, you should be able to change on the fly. You know what I mean? Like you got a good, we would say two because it's the beginning of September. So 2.5, I think is good time to really switch gears. If you're that elite of a fighter, that shouldn't be an issue. Like I said, a week, that's different. A few days, oh, that's different. But I think this is a good time and gap because she really don't have an opponent name. Like it's not like she was signed on. It's always just been talked about. Like she's not her opponent for sure. It never was. Like Caitlyn didn't pull out. It's just never been scheduled. TJ said he needs 6 months. And you know what? Jessica Andrade, as good of a fighter she is, there's not really anything takes 6 months to train for. You know what I mean? Like you don't really need 6 months to train for her style. You just have to have what it takes to beat her. You know what I mean? Like you can't. It's really not a puzzle to crack. Like if you were fighting Valentina, yeah, for Valentina, yeah, you might want to take time because there's so many different things. The thing Andrade brings is just that freakish power and athleticism and strength. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you could probably train heavy drills on being able to last that long with somebody like that. But I think she's an easier puzzle to crack. Now, surviving against her and being able to take her punch, that's a different thing. That's a totally different thing. versus like trying to penetrate somebody's defense like Shevchenko or being able to wear her down to get her down. Andrade, she can be taken down. She can be outworked. I think there's just certain game plans that you could focus on the next 2-3 months or so. And with her height, her physical abilities, Manon would be ready in that matter of time. MJ, what's going on? TJ said, I hate to see Manon waiting. I blame Grasso. James Perez said, Andrade should fight Rodriguez or Dern. Yeah, and that's another thing. Like, we just talking here. We just talking. We not saying that she's going to do it. There's bigger fish to fry and bigger fish that she can actually catch at 115. So there's no, we just talking here. We know the logical thing for Andrade to do is stay at 115 because she has a better chance of beating Rodriguez before she does Manon, in my opinion. And both are tough fights. But the thing is, her strength, it's definitely like increases at 115. You know what I mean? Her chances increase at 115 because she's so much more powerful. Mark said, is Manon too small for bantamweight? I don't think so. No. I don't think she is. I think she's good size for bantamweight. Because, if you look at her weight, I'm not suggesting she does that. It just crossed my mind. Her first fight was against Leah McCourt, and I think they fought at 138. And if you look at her, she was strong in that fight. No, she can do that weight. Because maybe the weight cuts wouldn't be as hard. Because when you look at her on the scale at 125, you can tell like there probably is some rough patches there, like going through weight cuts with her. But no, like 135 is no problem. I mean, she's 5'7", maybe 5'8", wide, big, not just tall and like lanky, but she's like big. I think the one thing that might be a downfall at bantamweight is her reach isn't that long for somebody, of her size. But I think 135 could be a weight where she could fare okay. Mojo, what's up? He said Manon will probably take whoever is available to be able to fight in her home country. Yeah. But please don't do like a Shakarova situation with her. You know what I mean? Don't give her like that type of fight where it's, that type of guarantee, like some little 115er anymore. You never know. Like, Andrade might be getting a call though. Because I remember, who was it? Somebody said like they called 9 fighters and they all said no to fighter. I can't remember who it was. So yeah, they probably reach out to different, there's always behind the scenes we don't know about. Ramona Pasquale. Nah, she's got a fight coming up against Jocelyn Edwards in a couple months. And I don't think she could make one. Oh, you said 135? Oof, that would be terrible. Yeah, she's already fighting Jocelyn Edwards in June. So yeah. Basically, she fights Manon. It just has to be a good name on her resume if she wants to be champion, which she probably does. Strawweight is it for Andrade. Yeah. Yeah, at this point. Ooh. What do y'all think of this? I'm going to put this comment right here. I'm not going to laugh. No, Brian Williams said don't laugh, but E-Boss would be willing to take that fight. Yeah, like, I'm not laughing, like, willing to, Yeah, I think she'd be willing. Like, she's got the heart. Would she win, and did she have a chance? I think everybody has a chance, but I think she had more of a chance to beat Chookagian than she does Manon, and you saw how that went, right? Like, she did win on some people's scorecards. Some fans thought she won. but there was still a lot of holes there for 125, right? Defense wise, she got hit too much. Her jujitsu is good, but yeah, she would take it. She would take it. Heart wise, she would take it, but skill wise, it's not a good look. Straight said UFC might book Manon versus Cortez because they're pushing Cortez too, and O'Neal isn't available. That'd be a big leap for Cortez. Bet you there'd be a lot of people pissed off about that. They could feed Lad to Manon at 135. uh, no, Lad is gonna fight McMahon. And watch Lad come in like 145, try to make Manon struggle with her. Yeah. Ebos would probably take it. Yeah, yeah, she has surgery, but I mean, like, yeah, hypothetically, we were just speaking, she probably would. Mastermind said, don't suggest that, Brian, because her head's gonna get snapped. Wow. Yeah, but yeah, that's the latest straight from the fighter's mouth. I just wanted to fill y'all in, like, because before I was going to really get into discussion on it, I said, you know what, let me listen to what Chookagian's talking about on her live, and it just so happened she said, nope, it's not happening yet. Right. All right. Got about 20 of y'all in here before we get to the next topic. I only got one more topic anyway tonight. So um hit that like. Let's see if we can get to 15 likes. And like I said, we have no fights, but there's always something to talk about in WMMA. All right, here we go. Chen said Manon could KO Ebos. I thought Ebos's chin wouldn't be an issue. I didn't think so either because of the weight cut. I thought if she didn't have no weight to cut, she would have been fine. But Chookagian wobbled her in that first round. Many people didn't want to call that, but I saw it. Even if she didn't get wobbled, she took a lot of right hands and her face started swelling up. It's almost said Chookagian's about to get cut. Not after signing a 4-fight contract. Yeah. All right. Sleight of mind, what's going on? He said we in here. All right, so we jump to the next topic. It never fails. It never fails. I ain't gonna be too long on this, but it never fails. Like, once again, I told y'all, when I don't say what people want to say about Rose, they start coming at me. Like, I left the comments in my last stream, but I was going back and forth. Well, I really wasn't going back and forth. I think other people were, but I like how when somebody says they disagree with me on Rose, they always start talking about my followers. It's a good thing I don't have a lot of people over here. They try to diss my channel. Every time a Rose follower does that, every time a Rose follower disagrees, they do that. They start saying, oh, well, you don't have that many followers anyway, so it don't matter. Well, it hurt you enough, or it got you riled up enough to come over here and say what you say about me, right? And like I said, I'm not news, I'm not media. I'm just a fan of the sport. So however the channel does and how it grows, that's on it. I'm not going to go to an extent to please everybody. You know what I mean? I don't change what I say based off of what other people say just because they don't like what I say, So yeah, that's where it is. Like every time, that's what I'm saying. Like, might not, there's always somebody that doesn't agree about some people, but every time it's somebody that about Rose, they always try to throw a low blow at me. I mean, like, they always try to disrespect me and say I don't know what I'm talking about, or I don't have enough followers over here to really be legit on what I say. Followers don't mean nothing. Like, when it comes down to me talking sense, I've always been a person that thinks logic and just observes before I speak on it. You know what I mean? Like, what I'm saying about her has nothing to do with her as a person. And, you know, your comments saying I disrespect her, no, I'm just talking about her as a fighter. Or you say I don't like her. I mean, you ain't checking receipts. Never said I disliked her. And you really get it twisted when you say I call Rhodes a Nazi. I'm like, whoa, where did that come from? That's where I know you really got your thing twisted. Cause I ain't never called her that. You at the wrong channel when you say that. You at the wrong channel when you say something like that. I never called her a Nazi. I never said I disliked her. I'm just telling you what I see as as my observation. But that's what it is with that. That's what I'm just saying. Like, if you disagree, I prefer you just didn't. Well, if you disagree, yeah, if we can have a conversation, yeah, stay. But if you get emotional about it, don't worry about it. Don't stay. Especially when you say something like, "Oh, you might not like what I say. You can block me or whatever." I'll be like, how many people have I blocked because I disagree with it? They say never, or I might disagree with what they say. I don't ever block anybody for that. You know what I mean? Like, you can say what you want to say, fine. I mean, when you start name calling and being racist and being childish, that's a different story. But I just never block people because we disagree. Like, if that was the case, I would have blocked when yeah, I would block BJ a long time ago for something. If we don't agree on like Casey O'Neill or something, right? That'd be childish. But you see, we can still come to terms about different things. But it's crazy when you just start going to bat for somebody that you never met before. Or maybe you did. Maybe you just undercover. I don't know. That's what makes conversation for me fun. That's what keeps my mind sharp on what I know whenever I can go back and forth with somebody I disagree with, because they might have missed something, I might have missed something. And if you can correct me, fine. But I'm over here to give you what I know. But if you disagree, I'm gonna pull out my receipts. Like, I've never said I've hated Rose or disliked her as a person. Like, if you listen to my past videos, like, I didn't like what she said about Wei Lee. But if you listen to my past videos, I've always given her respect. I've always picked her to win different fights. I was one of the ones that she said I never said she ducked Wei Lee. I rate her as like number 4, number 3, 4 is pound for pound. But I mean, it must be deeper with some of y'all. Y'all must be going in like a deep thing or something like that. Like, y'all must just be really, really in love with the person. But like I said, my channel ain't for people who just in love with one fighter. It is if you can take what I say. But if you just really, really feel that way, then like I said, if you can't just back up your argument, but you got to throw little disses, then this ain't the place for you. But like I said, it's still the deal when you said I called Rose a Nazi, or that was your answer. You said Rose is not a Nazi. Well, I'm like, got you right there, pal. Gotcha. Gotcha. But I never said that. So when you got to use that word on how I base her as a fighter, that's already showing you got it twisted. And it's letting me know that I'm reaching more people aside from what you say. Somebody says that, okay, you don't have a lot of followers. Apparently I am reaching and pinching some nerves. Apparently it is. Apparently it is, because you got it. Other people are getting it more than last year gotten to my channel. So apparently it's doing something. Let me see. I'm trying to pull something up. It's taking a minute, so I'm just talking for a second here. A slight of mine said we disagree a few times. I haven't ever seen you block for opinions. Also, remember one of my chat mods hit my chats. You told him not to, and I respect that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you ain't cussing, you ain't cussing at me, or if you ain't saying anything like off the deep end, then yeah, you fine all the time. Just like this person here, I ain't blocked this person. I'm gonna leave their comments right there, and they free to come back and just continue to say what they believe. But you know, I haven't read their comments anymore. I thought I put mine when I just saw that Nazi thing. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, that ain't. I know what this is. Yeah, TJ, I'm gonna stay doing that too. No, I like Claudia, man. I like Claudia back in 2015. um, hold on. Let me look. Yeah. Hold on, slide of mine. To scroll back up here because I was just talking. Okay, he said, slide of mine said, I'm going to be completely honest. Rose isn't a champion. She doesn't have championship mentality. She's a great fighter or natural even, but she's just not a champion and doesn't have the mentality. Yeah, see, like that's your opinion. So like, I'm not going to get mad. Even if I was a fan, I wouldn't get mad. Like, not everybody thinks highly of. Like I said, I'm a person, so I'm gonna have my fan favorites. Like, I think highly of Manon Firo, so I can do that because I'm not news and I'm calling it down the middle with a lot of things as far as respect, but I can have my fan favorites. But if you don't think of highly as I do, then fine. Like I said, Zaman, he over here be trying to talk about Miranda, but hey, I still ride with Miranda. I mean, he just trying to push my button about that, but shoot, I still ride with Miranda, but I ain't gonna block him for that because he know. Like I said, keep me sharp. I'm gonna have to go in. Like I said, I'm gonna go in and defend her every time because I know that's a different story. But Slider Monster Rose doesn't have the drive. It seems like she hates fighting. She's very sensitive. She hates competition to the point where she feels bored inside the octagon. Yeah, and then that ain't good. I mean, if you're looking out for a person's life, yeah, that's how I look at it sometimes. I'm just like, well, you ain't cut for it. You might not be cut for that. Or, I might just say maybe you need to take time off or you might need to grow. But I've never disrespected anybody with a different opinion. Like I said, personally, I don't know a lot of the fighters personally, so it ain't personal. Now, when you make it personal, like when you try to bring in these politics, then I might have to take a shot at you. Oh, hold on. Mark Rabbit said, I'm a little surprised Waterson hasn't officially moved up the flyweight yet. She's always short, but she always looks way thicker than she usually does. Yeah, she does, man. I hope that doesn't hurt her moving down to 115 for this fight. Yeah, and Brian, I've always known that. Whatever it is, even with fighters, like the quiet fighters don't have a lot of drama, so people don't support them. But I'm here to support them. Like the fighters that just want to fight and do real, that's what I'm supporting. I'm not gonna bring drama and stuff like that. Like I don't crave that. So if it stays small off of that, then I'm fine. I'm perfectly fine with that. because I'm not gonna be in here, starting arguments and causing drama. You know what I mean? Like, if people crave drama, this ain't the place to crave it. I mean, this ain't the place to go. It's about, like I said, man. Like I used to after the workouts or something at the gym, you talking to other fighters, you talking to people. We just standing outside talking, and it's a conversation. It's a good conversation. Every now and then it gets heated about our favorite fighters, but when we just sitting outside, or when I'm chilling with fight fans in person, we ain't going at each other with a beer bottle over somebody's head. You know what I mean? We just talking like I'm talking here. So there's gonna be some bias every now and then. Colosso said I had to unsubscribe from some pages because they were spreading lies about Kayla. If you don't like her, cool, but don't spread lies. And see, Colosso, that's the thing. Like, I don't dislike Kayla Harrison. I just want to see her in it. I want to see actions match her words. That's all it is with her. Like, do I think she's good and she's strong and she could be, yeah, she could be all of that. She could be like top level, but look at the fighters I talk about in the UFC. Like, the ones that are there and they are promising, I'm giving them shine because they're in the right place. Now, if Kayla was in Bellator, I'd be making videos more because her level just stepped up. But aside from that, like, nah, I ain't got nothing bad to say about her as like a fighter. No. Chin said you want to block me on Instagram. Oh boy. Yeah. Yeah, see, TJ, I personally, like, I don't, as a fighter, I don't think she is whack. I just don't like a lot of the approaches she's taking with, of course, look, money's one thing. Money's one thing. If she wants to go the money route as a prize fighter, 100%, I'm supporting that. But when you continue to bring up Chris Cyborg's name, say you want a gym fight with her, or say you want to wish everybody a good morning except Juliana Pena, I'm like, why? Stop talking about them. Just stop talking about those people. If you want a PFL, fine. Prize fighting league. That's what we're gonna call it for you. That's good. I'm fine with that. That's all I'm saying. Do I think she'll win this season again? Yes. Do I think she's ready to step her game up and fight some of the best in the Bellator division? Yeah, for sure. Those 11 fights got her to the next tier. She just ain't there yet. But yeah, like I mean, her work ethic, her mental, her strength. I mean, that's was crazy. That's why I want to see it in there with one of these bigger names. I mean, unfortunately, Julia Budd, she didn't have it. Already beat Jenna Fabian, but I just need to see her in there with more names. Mark said definitely deserves a blockbuster interview with the top WMMA figure. He'll respect and ask legit questions and offer some thought-provoking follow-up. I mean, yeah, the fighters I have interviewed, I've had some good conversations with them, and everything that you said is how we converse. We always converse like that. Yeah, I know what you mean, TJ. Yeah, like, I know you mean as a fighter. That's what I'm saying. Like, when some people get caught up in her attitude and everything, I'm like, that's how fighters do. But I wouldn't give her so much slack for her attitude if she was like racking names up. You know what I mean? I mean, Pena, she's been killing this tough house right now as far as her guidance and her coaching. From what I'm seeing, based off of what's on screen, I think Pena's been knocking it out of the park. Nunes, she's doing well for her team, but I just mean like Pena's really stealing the show as far as how she's representing her people and trying to help them out. Chantel Coates, unfortunately, same. She having weight issues. She tried to keep her. She tried to help her, but they had to be realistic. Chantel can't cut 25 pounds before a fight. So what did Pena do? She went and got somebody that she's been watching. You know what I mean? Like she didn't just grab somebody. She grabbed somebody that she could vouch for. And that's how she looking at a strong team right there because Pena wanted somebody that's going to represent her name. That's why she pushes her people. She wants the best for her people like her. So I think her coaching is knocking it out of the park right now. Her team is solid. Shoot, if I was a fighter, I think I'd want her to be my trainer. You know what I mean? Donovan said both Bellator and PFL dropped the ball on that fight. Yeah, they did. And yeah, with Ali saying it ain't a fight that makes sense. Yeah, there's really nothing going on with it right now. James Press says because PFL putting everything behind one female, that's why she's making the money. Yeah. And I gotta respect Kayla on one count for sure. When one of those reporters tried to throw a dig at Clarissa Shields, Kayla did. She did brush that question off. So I gotta respect her on that because one reporter asked Kayla, like, was she glad that, in a way he was asking, was she glad that Clarissa lost? Because he was like, now you don't have to see all these posters with Clarissa. How does that feel? Are you smiling about that? Or something like that. So, Kayla was like, hey, Clarissa's still a good fighter. She'll get better and she'll be back, She gave that type of answer, but like she didn't feed into that BS like one of them Shields haters, like you could tell he was like hating because he's like, are you glad her posters are gone? Like you don't have to see her face anymore. He said something like that. But Kayla didn't play into that. And that's the one thing I do respect about Kayla. Like she does acknowledge that media be asking the same old tired questions. And, she does get a little bit sick of these same questions, And, we be talking about that with other fighters. We talk about that with how they always ask these fighters the same thing or they don't have anything. They don't research. So it's like I said, it's just some things. Like I said, there's some things about her. You'd be like, oh boy. You just be like, okay, Kayla. But in that manner, she did come to that defense. So yeah, MJ. I mean, they kind of do. They have the same behavior. I think Clarissa, she's kind of had a rough upbringing, and she's from a rough territory, and she's a competitive person. Kayla's a competitive person, so yeah, a lot of things Clarissa's going through, people just don't know about. Like she did a pretty good piece on some of the things she's grown up, abuse and, rough family life. For somebody that's gone through that rough life, I think she's doing fine though. And you would expect that type of behavior from that person if they've been through this and they've been through that, as long as this person ain't, selling dope or they in jail and they took they took the roughness and they can channel it and do whatever they need to do, that's cool. I'm cool with that. Yeah, because they both got loud personalities, but I'm like, I guess it comes from somewhere. Sometimes, like I said, people with those rough upbringings, you don't know what it is, what they're trying to block out sometimes, and it kind of helps them. It helps. It's like therapy to them. Fighting is therapy for some. Trying to be better, than everybody else is part of that therapy. You know what I mean? Like, or showing that they are. So, undefeated bets. What's up? Yeah, I don't know undefeated bets if you know, but yeah, I don't think Chookagian Fiorot is going to be on for September because like I said, I was on IG Live bets, and Chookagian is not going to be able to do September 3rd. I bet you they put up some more money. She might. We'll see though. What else I want to talk about? Oh yeah, I want to talk about. Let's jump to Valentina for a minute. Let's jump to Valentina. Let's switch gears here. Talk about Valentina. And because somebody had a few people ask me about this interview if I watched it, and I haven't had a chance to sit down and really, really go through it, but I did. James Lynch interview with Valentina. It's like 2.5 weeks old now, but we'll talk about it because hang on. Bet said, of course, Chookagian doesn't want that fight. She needs to heal. Yeah, because the Manon fight gonna be hella worse, right? Slice, did you see my last post about Val? Hold on, let me check. Yeah, because we about to go into Val right now. Hold on. Repost this. Like, I don't see it. Was it a link? Yeah, repost what it was. Yeah, but Val, her James Lynch interview, it was very good. And I want to talk about the later part of it where she discusses the flyweight division. Because Shevchenko, she does give a good interview. She does a good interview on like her analysis of different fighters, and she's really been talking about these 4 fighters at the bottom. Like she wasn't like going in on them hard, but she's just giving an observation, and I have to bring it up because it's like I said, like some of it mirrors what I say. That's why I be telling people like, hey, I'm not in there fighting. I'm not in the cage, but I'm watching probably more than her because she's focused on her own career. So I'm just telling you, I see what it is with some of these fighters. So I like to use her words to solidify mine sometimes. Hey, that's what I'm doing. Let's see, because yeah, all of these names came up, Firo, Tate, Grasso, and Macy Barber and Aaron Blanchfield. Yeah, because I think it was Sleight of Mind or somebody that asked me about this interview and wanted to know what I thought. Well, I said, she's been watching her division. All except for one fighter on here, she's really been paying attention to. She's definitely been watching her division because she does want to know who's going to be next for. And like I always say, it might not sound like she's the type of fighter to watch tape, but somebody on her team is looking. They're always looking. But let's see. I ain't gonna pull up the interview here, but let me just kind of go through here. Let's see. Yeah, because James Lynch, he did have some good questions on this one. He said that he just wanted to kind of go through, not jump ahead of her fight coming up. Because actually, to me, honestly, I'll go ahead and say it now. I think Taylor Santos is going to be tougher than any of these fighters that he mentioned, except Manon. But yeah, watching it, yeah, Donovan, that's what the champions do that. That's what I'm saying. Champions, when they say they don't, they really do. So he asked about Miesha Tate. And like I said, she said the same thing I did. Miesha Tate's good for the division, good fighter. Wants to take a chance after having babies, having a kid, and wants to go down and test herself. But it's like she said though, like it's not her skills. It's going to be about her weight cut. That's what it is. It's going to be about the weight cut. So I said that these things keep taking me back to Val. She's pretty much leagues above everyone, no matter the division, the champion, every aspect. She's leagues above all WMMA fighters, right? But you can't tell that. You can't tell everybody that, man. Because every time I do, it seems to ruffle feathers. Uh, he said the only person close to Val that we see, in my opinion, mindset would be JJ. Yeah, work ethic wise and like ego, not ego, but yeah, she's got big ego. Johanna does, but I think work ethic is up there. But I think Val has a better ability to expand. Okay, yeah. So yeah, weight. Misha Tate, like she said, the weight is probably going to be the decider for her. But what y'all think about this though? She said that she loved the Misha Tate fight, and likely that would be a main event pay-per-view. Do y'all think that would be? Say if Misha Tate beats Lauren Murphy, do y'all see that as a main event on pay-per-view? Uh, I don't know. They probably would. It depends on what Pena Nunes 2 looks like, but that's the question. Would they make Shevchenko a main event? This would be her first one, right? This would be her first main event if she got Misha Tate in there. Let me think. It is, right? Yeah, but she said like, yeah, she loved that fight. She's not sure if she can beat Lauren Murphy yet. It's up in the air because of the weight. But if she comes down, because she said bantamweight, it can be a rougher cut. Going down from bantamweight from bantamweight down to flyweight can be rough. So that's what the decider though. But she says a fight she likes. Um, Likely a main event pay-per-view. That I don't know. UFC Fight Night card, I think they would have no problem making, but I think it would have to have a lot of good fighters on it to be pay-per-view though. You have to have a lot of good matches to support it. But Misha Tate has a lot of fans though. I mean, Misha Tate, again, I know IG followers don't translate. She has like 2 million plus. Valentina, 1.5, something like that, right? But can it be sold as a main event? Can it be sold as a main event? Side of mindset, most of Joanna's ego is due to promotion and such, yeah, in order to bring attention to the sport. And yeah, it helped too. It helps. Because, ego and her work ethic has definitely put a lot of eyes like myself on WMMA. James Press says she's just saying that because of Tate's name value. She still sees Tate in that Rousey hype since Tate and Rousey started this thing in UFC. That's all. All right. Will you take that? Would you take that though? Would you take that as a pay-per-view? Let's see, JK13 in my attic. Nope. I sure ain't. He's in my attic, the YouTuber. No, he's got a channel. I think my name speaks for itself right there. I mean, yeah, that's just a weird question. I mean, one, my name doesn't start with a W. It starts with a C and ends in a 9. I'm just saying. I mean, yeah, you know. I don't know what kind of question that is. But anyways, Misha Tate as a main event at this point, I say part of me seems to say why not, just because of being a fan of WMMA. Like to see Valentina finally get a pay-per-view, a pay-per-view main event. That's the first time I heard that. He said I sound like him. Never heard that before. I would take it. I would take it. Sadama said Joanna learned a lot of what she did by Connor. She even said that she respects Connor highly and she's defending him. Yeah, I don't know what that is. You say I sound like him. I mean, shoot. I mean, I don't think you trying to say we all sound alike or something. Do you trying to say we all sound alike? Mark Roberts said right now, flyweight the Tate fight is probably the biggest general fight that Val can make slash take. It could be a pay per view. Is Glover Jerry that much better? Not really. It's not. But you know what? There's still more men to support that though. But yeah, if you want to come on in a minute, Mark, I'll let you get on. I just want to run through these fighters here real quick because that's the thing. Like, it's probably like a better level, but it still won't get that support. But it's about time that we do support them, though. You know? Yeah, TJ. That's probably that. That's probably that other guy. He probably just got another account. He just think he just want to say something. But that's funny. Um, but he think everybody sound. He think we all sound alike though. So, but no, you stick around. You might learn that we're not the same person, even though he might be the same person. Yeah, he might be the same person, but a different account. Let me see. Grasso. She also talked about Grasso. She said Grasso is a hard worker. She said at some point she welcomes that fight. And me, at some point, I welcome that fight too. I want to see it, but this Vivian Arujo fight is really gonna answer a lot of questions. I think taking on somebody bigger, stronger. She's gonna be in there with somebody with the kill switch. That's gonna be well, TJ, that's what you got to wrench for if you want to make the call on some of them. I mean, because I I can't hit block on this page I'm on, but if you would like to, I mean, go ahead, feel free. You already know the Okay, yeah, Mark, no link. Okay, I think you know my judgment now. So if you know the criteria for that, I mean, go ahead, feel free. But like I said, I got to do that. Got to reach over to one side and do that. Go ahead, yeah, yeah. I think Grasso. It's going to be a few more fights. It's going to be a few more fights before we see her in there with Valentina. Of course, Valentina, she'll take it. That's going to lead straight to getting that record with her title defense. You know what I mean? That's definitely going to get her there. But it's not really a fight I think I want to see right now. Although, yeah, so I'm trying to do something here. Maybe, I don't even know, like, if she was to beat Arujo, like if she stopped her, there would still have to be one more fight in there. There would still have to be one more fight. Let's see, Saitama said Grasso doesn't display that she has the kill switch and continues to up her overall level after this last fight with JoJo. I don't see her beating Val. No, no, man. Like the kill switch, like I mentioned yesterday, that's always a problem. So I'm like, let me see what else she can do in this real fight and do one more after that. And then we'll talk. But yeah, I think she's kind of on the same thing. I think it's changing. I think it's gonna be co-main event. Yes, I think it's gonna be a co-main event now, which might change up the pace of the fight. And to me, if that becomes 3 rounds, then we can push all that cardio talk out the door. Because then I think Arujo, she's pacing herself for 3 rounds now. She's gonna be ready. Hold on, let Let me see something real quick. Yeah, because there was something here I wanted to pull up with. I'm trying to see the latest on that because I think it is going to be a co-main event. They're trying to make it a co-main event, but yeah, today somebody just told me that it's probably not going to be. Mm-mm. Boom, there we go. Let's see if I can find it. Hold on, Arujo Grasso. Yeah, I think eventually, we'll see because Grasso, I don't think she's as ready as like even in talks like Santos and Furo is like right now. Even Chookagian's about to get her shot. If she was to go back in there and win her next fight, because then she'd be on what, a 4-fight win streak. It's upsetting to me that Grasso just doesn't have the same grind that Val has, and I've told her that. I've seen her train. She needs the upper game. She has the grit, just not the same grind. Yeah, a lot of these fighters have the same grit, but yeah, the grind is different with some of them. Like their mind is just on something different. Val's mind is not just on gritty. It's about being better than the next person. It's about being next level. I mean, she said it herself in another interview. She was like, that's what makes me different from everybody. Like she's that I'm not celebrating after well, y'all heard it. She's like, I'm not celebrating after training. I wait till after the fight. Right. From what I've seen from Grasso, she definitely can beat everyone if she's on her game. But when she gets to Andrade and Val territory, I don't know. Yeah. Those would be like the deciders on is she that level? Yeah, because Joanna's grind, her grit took her past Andrade, right? So yeah, that name was brought up, Grasso, but like I said, with that one, I think even she knows that's kind of far off. Who else? Well, Macy Barber, and not as far as fighting Macy Barber, but she did mention that Macy has improved. Ulysses, what's up? She has improved. She has gotten more tactical. She is much more tactical, like she saw in her last performance. She said she's young and strong, but she couldn't kind of help but kind of laugh at how she was trying to go for being the youngest champion. But she said it's funny how coming into the game, you're much more loud, ready to take on everybody, but now she's been more humble. Macy Barber's been humbled by experience. And that's all I'm saying. Like, yeah, like that's what we wanted to see with Macy Barber, just humble herself. Humble herself, gain a little bit of experience, humiliation, and you can be pushed that you can get back on track. You can get back to push into that title shot. But yeah, like it wasn't like title shot talk, but it was just interesting how she kind of called the same thing on that. Yeah, like very, very good performance against Montana. Montana couldn't adjust, like she said, He said, I don't see Grasso crying in the gym. If you're not crying and getting beaten, destroyed, or rebuilding yourself is not enough. Yeah, it's got to, a lot of that stuff has to strike some people mentally and a nerve when, they can't cross over sometime, Undefeated best said Grasso is better than Arujo. In some departments, yeah, but then I think Arujo is better than her in some, so it really makes the fight even to me. Like right now, I say strength and speed is Arujo. Go after it, kill switch, Arujo. Technically better, I think, is Grasso. Better gas tank, I give the edge to Grasso, but sometimes she lets up. So yeah, Macy Barber, like I said, as a fighter, she sees growing, still far off. And speaking of that, she mentions Casey O'Neill. Casey O'Neill. What did she say? Casey O'Neill has some things to work on. She said Casey has a lot of things to work on before she, climbs to the top. And that's all I'm saying. Like, I think a lot of us agree on that. Like, Casey O'Neill is still growing and still fitting into this picture. She's still really trying to develop her skills to be top 10 one day or top 5. You know, being in the top 15 is one thing, but to get the top 15, that's another. Top 5 is another. Top 3 is another. And then being, title ready is a whole different thing. You know what I mean? Like, each level you have to be improving. It has to be big improvements, not just changes, but improvements. So I think Casey O'Neill is one of those fighters that, just needs work. Yeah, enjoy that movie, Mark. He's out. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, that's what I think, man. Like, I think spot on. Like, it's no disrespect. It's like she's not just gonna come in having good skills and being overly gifted. I think Casey O'Neill's where she needs to be after 4 finishes, or she went for, no, 3 finishes and one decision. She's where she needs to be. Brought up Manon Fiorot. Manon Fiorot, she has been watching. I see she's noticed her karate, she's her taekwondo, judo, and so on. She says she has a good combination and she's on the path to getting there. Well, that's another fighter. Yeah, I definitely think she's levels above some of these. Yeah, for sure. But Macy's grinding her grit. Might get her to top 5, but from there we just got to see what she looks like against Jessica I and moving on. Bet said Andrea Leah Grasso. I'm gonna go with Grasso. Like, I see Grasso take her foot off the gas, but I never see Grasso look lost. If that, you know what I mean. That makes sense, right? There's a difference between being lost, and there's a difference between somebody who kind of takes their foot off the gas and just kind of carries their opponent. Like, Ketlen Vieira to me never looks lost, but for some reason she'll take her foot off the gas. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? To me, yeah, Grasso, yeah, like I said, Grasso. Yeah, Casey O'Neill. Yeah, Casey O'Neill's just work. She's working. She's top 15 right now, but you can't look like this to be top 10 and top 5. Slider mindset. I see Grasso change a lot. I've seen Grasso train a lot, and I've trained with her and even got work in against her. She's shockingly strong. That's why I can see Macy was shocked in their bout. Yeah, like, if you ever look at Macy Barber positioning and her face in that fight, she didn't expect that clinch to be held like that. Like, Alexa Grasso did have some pretty good work in those clinches, She did. And she was controlling her, even on the ground. So yeah, I saw the level change there. I definitely saw the level change there. As far as her growth. He said Macy wasn't expecting Grasso to be that strong. Yeah. Yeah, like, yeah, you said she's stronger, but I'm still leaning towards Arujo with strength. But if she goes in there and does it, hey, that's what I want to see. I want to see that question answered, Brian Williams said, what's funny about all this is that Valentine used to claim she doesn't watch fights at all. I was like, not even as a fan. Yeah. Well, they always say that. All these fighters say that. And the more and more I was kind of reading like how she talks, I was like, you all eyeballing these fighters, because like even with Manon, like I'm sure she probably read that she does some karate, taekwondo, and judo and this and that, but it was like right off top, she just started listing stuff. Like, she knew how Fiorot moved. Like, she's good at keeping distance. her stand up. So I was like, oh yeah, you seen her. And she mentioned the Jennifer Maya fight. So I was like, yeah, you been watching. And ain't nothing wrong with that. So I noticed Grasso's strength in the clinch and as far as the fight, she was moving her so easy. She was just too scared to capitalize though. Yeah, like this is something I want to see more from Grasso. Like, yeah, like the capital, the part like you said, capitalize. Like I want to see that. Like I know she's capable of a lot of things, but that's why I always have to kind of hold back before I say she's ready for this because there's still a level of respect that she's showing. Like she should be showing more disrespect, and I don't mean like personal disrespect, but I mean like a fighter's personal space when you're in there. You own that octagon. Your style is better. Make it work. Colostrum said if Aurora can pick up Big Lee, then I'm sure she can handle Grasso. Yeah, or Rujo. Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, I think she could pick her up, but let's see that clinch game. I really want to see that clinch how it looks. Yeah, Ulysses. Yeah, yeah. I don't. You should be watching. What else did she? Who else did she bring up here? Yeah. So Tate, she said that's a plus, possible main event. If she can make weight, we'll see what she looks like. Grasso's a hard worker. Fiorot has good skills, good combination, and she's on the road there. Casey O'Neill has some things to work on to climb up. Macy Barber, growing, experienced, humbled her. Not familiar with Aaron Blanchfield though. I was like, oh, yeah. He asked about Aaron Blanchfield. She said she hadn't been too familiar with her. So he gave her some background. Her win over Miranda, 22 strong, definitely seen as a big threat. But yeah, Val said she wasn't familiar with Aaron Blanchfield. And I mean, hey, you can't look at everybody, but I know when she mentioned her as a hype train, I know she probably was like, I ain't gonna give her no shine. But that's what it is. Like sometimes fighters do that. I remember and Silva, he was doing that with somebody that he wasn't feeling it one time. He just kept saying, who? Was he talking about Floyd or somebody? He was like, who? He acted like he didn't know that person. But she might very well not. She might not know who Aaron Blanchfield really is, but I would think so because they're really putting her name out there. I did the video too, where she said she wanted to derail the hype train. So, Val probably like, you know what? I ain't gonna mention her. You know? But that's cool though. That's cool. That's okay. That's gonna make Aaron now have to say, oh, she don't know me. I'm gonna start working. I'm gonna stop talking and I'm gonna work. So, champions they have their way of winning mental battles. And Valentina is very good at that. You got to know how to say the right things, saying things without saying what they expect. Like sometimes people would rather hear you say something bad about them, but if you don't, or if you don't even mention them at all, or you'd be like, oh, I don't know them, that kind of hurts more. Some people would rather you argue, like, trolls do, like whenever people comment, they rather me argue with them or uh, talk trash. But if you just acknowledge it and say, okay, whatever, or be like, eh, that tends to get on people's nerves more. And I think that's what she kind of did there. She just kind of like, I'm not familiar with her. Slidermine says she knows every fighter in her division just about. Yeah, she does. Yeah, she'll revisit that the higher that Aaron gets. But Aaron's been knocked out of the rankings right now. And she's got a fight coming up with JJ Aldrich. That's going to be a good test for her. Tracy Cortez, she took that spot. So yeah. Brian Williams said James Perez not just a fighter too. It shows that. And another reason I don't particularly care for her, even though I am a fan of her fighting. Yeah, Ulysses says she always says, I think I saw a bit, but not much. It starts giving the whole style and background. Yeah. See, I haven't seen that person, but they're like a 2-time Taekwondo champion. They have a background in Sambo. They're black belt in Jiu-Jitsu. Yeah. KG. Brian said, no, I don't mind her thinking she's levels above as a fighter, but she places herself above other fighters as a human. You can see it. Other fighters she places herself above other fighters as a human. You talking about Valentina? Oh, I was just thinking about that. I don't know. So I don't mind her seeing she's levels above as a fighter. Yeah, there's no problem with that. But I don't think she places herself above other people as a human. And if she does, I just think that comes from a mentality. I mean, that's part of how you do what you do, because everybody knows that they bleed. I mean, let me put it this way. Valentina, if she did, she would be more of a narcissist, I think. But no, she's more of a. I did a video about this before. Like, she's somebody I wouldn't call a narcissist, but she's like not a selfish person, but she's definitely somebody that thinks it's self-preservation. Like, if she wouldn't be as technical as she is if she thought of people below her, because she wouldn't be prepared, and she'd be like, oh, my mindset is I'm always better. But no, to make sure she's better than everybody, she's working hard at it. She knows she's human and she knows that they're human, but to make sure she has all her bases covered the way she does, that sounds like a human right there. She's not just dependent on one thing. Like, there's some knockout artists that get cocky in the game. You know what I mean? Like, they don't prepare for everything because they think their knockout power or their jujitsu is better than everybody. You know what I mean? Like, no, like, she doesn't think she's levels above or people aren't human to her. They are human. That's why she prepares the way she does. She wants to be the superior human in there, because if they weren't human, then she would just take this approach and just have the wrong mental approach. She's competitive. That's all it is. There's a level of competitiveness out there that I think that just kind of goes over people's heads, and they think that, oh, they're disrespectful. No, like, this is her protecting hers. She's someone who is building her bomb shelter to keep everything out. She's making sure everything is covered, because one slip up and she could lose it. That sounds like somebody that respects people and respects her opponents. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think when you say something like that, Brian, about her thinking people below that, that's the thing that comes to mind for me. Like, a narcissist, when they think that they're better and you know they think they're levels above people. That's what I think of. But or she's better. She's better than the average human. But no, she putting in this work to be better than that. Because there's some people, yeah, like there's a book, yeah, I'm there's a book I'm reading too on this stuff. You know, that's what I'm saying. Like everything I'm saying is like how I apply it to what I see in the game. The fight game is like there's certain type of people that think they were just born better, like the narcissists. Like they just think that there's always a way that no, I'm better, or they just continue to keep saying that they're better than everybody, and they have that mentality where they're going to treat everybody like trash to make themselves better, you know. But with Valentina, her approach to the game is more of like somebody that's just really, really uh, competitive. You know, just competitive. Just wants to be the best, and they might come off like stuck up, or they might come off as like you said, an elitist. But no, they don't want to really build relationships with that person because it's like they're competitive. They don't want to open any type of doors to make them think otherwise. They don't want to let that person in either because they don't want them to know anything about them. Like I said, she trains with some other people, but hey, you know, right, right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I get whenever you say like somebody is thinking that they're above human or we're not, or like her opponents aren't humans. You know what I mean? But she's definitely somebody that I don't think says, "Oh, I'm better than this person." You know, like I'm a better human than this. No, better fighter. Yeah. When it comes down to the actual occupation, yeah, you want to think you're a better fighter, but a better just person. No, you're supposed to have that mindset. Like I'm a better fighter. Well, I'm gonna back it up with actions. Yeah, respect is never overlooking them. You know, you respect is never overlooking them. Respect is taking the same approach that you have in every fight, and she's always done that. So I think she's always on them. And you know, I wouldn't even call John Jones a narcissist to me. Like you know, I really wouldn't even call him that. Colossus said Chookagian was a more, you know, that's one of the signs. It's borderline. I mean, you know, yeah, I don't even see John Jones as that. I mean, yeah, I never got the vibe that she was just like thinking she's better like that in that sense. She didn't show much empathy for either. Nah, she laid her out. That's a part of the game, right? Oh man. Yeah, I agree with that. Runnerini said, you know, she's not a fighter, but like Jada Pinkett, yeah, Mm. And you know the best example. I mean, we ain't even got to like name pick. I mean, everybody that calls himself an IG influencer is a narcissist. Just about, you know, everybody that's on like IG that does it, or any social media platform that's their life, and they think nobody else's lives matter. Those are good examples of narcissists because they need everybody else's approval, and they think they're better because they have millions of followers. That's like that's the perfect example of what I think a narcissist is. Like, they're not somebody that is just famous for the sake of being famous. See, somebody like Val is actually writing a book, leaving everybody something behind that everybody can use. You know what I mean? Yeah. Rose, I wouldn't say she is. Like, yeah, like there's a name for, like I said in this book, I gotta go back and look at it. It's like in the earlier chapter I was reading, like about how they were breaking these different type of people down. But yeah, like I said, as a whole, like what you see people on IG with millions of followers, they were given something to them that they didn't earn. Usually entitled people that are entitled. Those are some of your narcissists. Those that want to just be given something for the sake of being given. It's like, hey, you know who I am? Be like, no. Well, I got a million followers on IG, so they think they are. They think they are God's gift to whatever. But like Val, the work she's putting in is something I think everybody can benefit off of. It's something everybody can have. And somebody that's giving back like that, to me, that's not really narcissism because they're helping people as a whole. It's not just individualism. Sure, it is individual for her because she's going to be the one holding the title when it all comes down to it. But she's laying something out everybody can follow. But people on IG just being famous for what? Like, what good is that going to be? That's not a guarantee to make you better. Your slight amount says sociopaths are made through trauma, abuse, and long term despair and depression. Yeah, sometimes these people become what was, they become their nightmares. Let's see who would be considered. Is he a bit? Yeah, like because to me, I think Izzy, like if we would apply it to the fight game, I think he would have came in there with a better game plan against Blakovic, but he was just so thinking that he could defeat him with his stand up. I think, but he wasn't willing to say, okay, I'm fighting this huge guy here. Let me go ahead and switch this thing up, and then, oh, let me switch this game up because he might bring something that I'm not used to. Hmm. Yeah, Kobe. I don't know. Kobe seemed like he be wearing a mask too much. Like, don't even seem like he really want to be like that. Sometimes I don't know. Like, I'm not saying I like him as I give him his credit as a fighter. He just I don't know. But yeah, man. Let me see. I think that's about all I had to talk about tonight. So yeah, hour and a half, just going through some, fight talk, some interviews, just some news on what's been going on. Uh, what else we got up in here? Just checking some things here. Let's see. Any last thing to talk about? Let's see. Tank and Rolly fight. Oh man, that's this weekend. No other fights coming on. Maybe there's I don't know. I might check out what's on the underground circuit. Mm, 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 mm. Yeah, Connor boy, like he out of line sometime. Smacking old people, taking people's phones, things like that, and then just thinking that I can get away with what I do, and somebody's gonna cover for me. Let's see Cage Warriors this weekend. KSW. Let's see if KSW has anything going on big. Anita Bakis and Roberto Azoka. Okay. Maybe I'll check that fight out tomorrow. Yeah, does he really like Side of mindset? Does he really believe in that stuff, right? He says it, but does he really believe it? All right, but yeah, time to roll out. Let's see if we can get to 20 likes before we get out of here. Hit that like before we go. And I don't know, this weekend might be a chill weekend for me. I ain't got much to talk about. So I might not be on until Monday fight week. Ain't nothing going on. Y'all don't want to hear me talk about nothing this weekend anyway, right? So unless I do a Sunday one, about what's coming up, but I don't know. I haven't did a round by round in a while, so who knows? Like we gonna have to go back and look at that Chris Cyborg Holly Holm fight. I said I was gonna do a round by round on that one because I wanted to see like what type of punishment Holly took in that fight again. 5 rounds of that. All right. There we go. Let's close this thing out. Okay, y'all. So yeah, I'm out of here. What you just said, Nadia Kasim is coming back one day. I hope. Is she? TJ. Last time she did fight. Let's check. Jin Yoon Kim lost to Jin Yoon Kim and Montana Del Rosa. Yeah. I wonder if she ever will come back because she was young, right? She's like 26, 25, something like that. Yeah. But yeah, let's get up out of here. Hit that like on your way out. Subscribe, if you haven't. And yeah, if you don't like what I say, keep it moving. That's how I'm gonna add that to the mix now. If it bugs you that much, you can go. But if you wanna disagree or debate, we can always do that. But let's be adults. All right. Here we go. And like always, Combo Breaker 99. I am. Dang. There we go. TJ said no. Yes. Like Chaz Kim said, that's a good policy. Like I said, yeah. Agree to disagree. Or if you disagree, give me a points, but don't get emotional. Yeah, she ain't coming back, man. I don't think so. She was scrappy, but she could have. if she had the mindset, the mental to focus. Yeah, but I don't know. I remember people got mad because I was talking about how she man, did she try to take a swing at Jin Kim? Like when they went to shake hands, she tried to do something dirty. I was like, oh man, it's crazy. But yeah, man, I'm out, guys. Like, share, subscribe. Peace.